Let's give Coach Les a big round of applause. He brings me on. That's awesome. There you go. Thank you, sir.
Well, first off, I have to tell everybody, I've been doing speaking engagements for, I don't know, since 1985. So how many people weren't born? Awesome. And my palms still sweat. I still get super nervous. And my toes curl in my boots, and you'll see me walk around quite a bit. And that's all part of the nervousness that happens when I come up in the front of the room. And here's the big thing, it never goes away. Never goes away. It's always there. What I have busted through is that it means anything other than I'm nervous. And my hands sweat. And you don't want to shake my hands right afterwards. I'll hug though. Definitely hugs are a good thing. I'm going to jump right in and take you right to what's the important thing here, because my integrity is that you will get value out of being here and you will walk away with a nugget. Now, some of you didn't know that you're going to interact with me, but you might get to interact with me depending on the timing. And I invite you afterwards to come up and challenge me on anything that I say at any time. I love it. And I'll tell you this, I'm one of these people, if you have a different point of view, I love it. And in fact, if I learn your point of view and I can get into that point of view and understand it, what happens is I share my point of view, and between the two of us, we might actually create a third point of view. And that's a breakthrough for me. And I think that's a breakthrough for the world. And that's what I'm committed to. Take a look at the sheet in front of you. I can go through this in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or spend 7 hours on it and more. Tonight we're going to delve into this and just kind of fly through some of the parts of it. And I want to share that a couple of years ago I did this same event. And I was even more nervous then. And there were only 5 steps. And those 5 steps were listening, I didn't have the word hearing there, being present, speaking, body language, and being in another person's world. What does that leave out? Well, I added hearing, and then I added looking and seeing, and then I added the mindset manifestation. Now I'm going to say something that will probably leave you a little baffled, and I'll explain when you come and talk to me afterwards. A blind lady spent 2 hours talking to me, and I added both of those sections after having this for 18 years with 5 steps. And I've always wondered why I've struggled to finish writing my book. And I guess the man upstairs or the universe, whatever you believe in, was stopping me until I got those 2 things from Silk Littlejohn, who was blind. And now I'm on fire, and I absolutely love it. Listening and hearing, the great question about this is we have 2 ears. We hear. The question is, do we listen? And how many of you know what the telephone exercise is? The telephone exercise is if we had 12 of you stand up front here in a row, and you could all have PhDs, because I did this in front of 400 people, and I wanted the smartest people in the room, right? And I gave a sentence to this person. They looked at it, it was typed on a piece of paper. And I said, okay, ready, go. And they spoke all the way down, and I had the last person turn around on a dry erase board and write down what their sentence was. How many words were the same? 3. Anybody else?
1.
2, 1, 0. And it was so great. all of a sudden the breakthrough was all the PhDs and all the professors and teachers in the audience actually listened from that point on. Because I don't have a college degree, I don't have a book, I'm just Coach Les. And to have that be the first exercise with the breakthrough, turned the entire room to be interested in what was next. So looking, seeing, same thing. We have two eyes, and how many of us, here's the trick, how many of us pay attention to the small details? One person. What do I mean by small details? When you come up to people that you know or you see in business, how many of them got a haircut? How many of them got a new tattoo? How many of them are dressed differently than they normally are? See, when we have two eyes and we have a lot, we can pay attention to those things. How many of you remember certain things? You know, I just looked at Cara for like maybe 15 seconds, 30 seconds since we started, and I noticed that she likes jewelry, and I noticed, I think, is that a stone on the top one?
Yep.
Okay, amethyst. Right, so those are key things to notice. And if your mind sees everything, I want you to really get this. You may say, well, I didn't see it. Yes, you did. You just weren't present to it. You remember everything that you've heard and seen since your eyes were created in the womb and your ears were created in the womb. And that also, now they're proving that with DNA, some of the things that predecessors in your genealogy saw and heard are showing up in your DNA. And that, Ben's like, what? It's a freaky thing to think about. But it makes sense if you think about energy. And you think about some of the stuff that we're learning. And by the way, I'm a Christian, so even though I talk about this spiritual stuff, to me it all is connected. All right, being present. How many of you have a cell phone? Everybody, excellent. How many of you go to meetings with friends and sit at a table, and where does the cell phone go? On the table. And if it's not on the table, it's because I have a watch that's connected to it. How present are we in that space? So when I get hired by companies to come in and inform them on how to be more present in meetings, I make rules that people don't like. When I'm invited into a family to make a difference with a family, I make rules that families don't like. And they get a new table by the front door with a new electrical outlet, which charges everything. And they have 1 hour to use it for homework. The rest, it sits down by the front door. Mom, dad, kids, all of you. Why? In this world, we're not present. COVID helped. One of the breakthroughs about COVID is people got more present with their family. Now, for some people would say, well, that wasn't a good thing, Les. Well, then call a coach or call a counselor and make it a good thing. That's what was possible, and that's what happened to a lot of people. Speaking. The second line here is my favorite. How many of you are offenders of the second line? Why do we use them? Anybody have an idea? Uncertainty.
Sometimes it seems like people are using them so nobody interrupts because they want to keep talking.
Control. Control. It is the biggest thing that people do one-on-one, one in a group, is to control the conversation. And how they do it is their brain is moving at 1,800 words a second. It's about 9 pages in a regular book. And they're so busy thinking of what to say next. And they end a topic as they're speaking. And they're trying to think of what to say next in that little pause as the tape player in their head is whirling. Here's my biggest gift to you. Shut up. Stop talking. It's the most powerful tool you have as a speaker. I love doing it, and I tell people right out front, look, I'm going to be calling you out. And I'd have 50 people in a class in front of me, and somebody'd think, oh, he's not watching me. I can sneak my look at my cell phone. Check my text messages. And I literally, as I'm speaking, I will walk up, because the speakers take my voice right, and I'll walk right over. How's the text message? Here's the thing. You're not present. We're not present in this world. And we miss out. And yesterday I was in a conversation with a gentleman who's known as the Accidental Gangster. And his name is Ori Spado. And he's very, very famous. And he just finished writing a book, just got published. And yesterday, on Monday, I was on a TV show with him as part of a panel. And they asked, what would you say is missing between street smarts and school? Which is the best education? What's missing? And he said one thing, respect. And I looked at that and I went, wow. He's right. We don't respect the time we have with people. And we're not present. The but. Whenever you say the word but, the next time you say the word but, I want you to consider that what you said before it was a lie. A lie. I'll give you a great example. I love you, Stephanie.
You're not going to use me.
But. I love you, Stephanie, but. Now what are you waiting for? You're waiting for the criticism. You're waiting for me to say, if you change this, then I will really love you. Oh, Andrew, you did a really great job, but. So you literally lied. I didn't do a great job. You didn't distinguish the job, and now you're about to critique it. See the difference? And this is so powerful in our speech. It is crazy. And people use this, and then they get smart, especially after I've just taught them about but. Well, however, no, same thing. And, no, just shut up. You did a great job, Andrew. I love you, Stephanie. Oh, and by the way, can I give you a little coaching, Andrew?
Please.
Because now I'm going to take him from a great job, the way he is and the way he isn't, and take him the next way up. We hear the statement all the time, you're whole, complete, and perfect just the way you are. Like, oh, you're perfect just the way you are. What about just the way I'm not? That's where the power comes. Body language, we all know this. This is pretty simple. Being in another person's world, this is the caveat. When you can be in somebody else's world, as I said right away in the beginning with pointing at Andrew, right? I said, if you have a different view than I do, and I get to know what that view is and where it came from and how you got that filter through your entire life, and then I share mine, and we can both come to an agreement, wow, yours is different than mine, but wow, now that I speak and learn and hear what you're saying, maybe there's a third agreement. There's a third possibility. That's why there's no need to get angry. There's no need to have a fight. There's no need for war. None. Zero. Except, of course, to pay for military, pay for industry, pay for equipment, and all the rest of it. Mindset manifestation. How many of you in the room have heard, well, manifesting and manifestation and all that? That's not religion. religious. Can't do that. That's that woo-woo stuff. Well, I'll tell you, every word that's there is in the Bible. And it's in many of the religious works that are out there. All those words. So whatever one you like, whatever one inspires you, whatever one fires you up, I want you to take this away from here. If you don't have a vision board, you want one. If you have a big goal, write it down, put it on a piece of paper, and put it in your pocket, in your wallet. Now, for being up here, my wallet's in that room, but there's a little piece of paper that says I want $1 million in the bank by the end of this year. It's my goal. I have a car, picture of a brand new car that's on the dash of my car out there. When you leave, take a look, you'll see it's a great big picture. That's my new car. And it's within 2 months. And I put $500 down on it already. This is a really powerful way to bring things into existence in your life. They're like goals, and they're visual, and they work on the brain when you're not thinking about it. When you have the possibility of going right or going left, that inner brain will automatically make you go right, because it's right is headed towards the goal that you've created visually, and we're just not paying attention to it. And at 1,800 words a second, our brain is doing the calculations for you and making you go that way. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
The last thing is the thing at the bottom. Why communicate? Intimacy. You want intimacy in your life? Then into me you see. Become transparent. Start to open up. Allow people in. You'll find that that anxiety and all that stuff, that fear, can be replaced with faith. I appreciate it, and I'm here to answer any questions afterwards. Come on up. I'd love for you to try and stump me with the communication issue you've had that you've never resolved. And my name and the way I go by is Coach Les, and as they say on one of the apps today, I'm complete.